welcome back this time to a windy Wednesday evening. I got that out right. Can't believe it. It's the 22nd day of April, and indeed it's been a blustery day out there today. And we have some more than tweaks to make to your forecast. You might recall on Monday's show I said we were still hovering above the frost line, so to speak, temperature-wise. But then I was fearful that temperatures were going to steadily ebb and fall off to the point that we might see a frost situation on a couple of occasions. Well, we indeed have done that in the past 24 hours and below freezing temperatures for one nighttime and following morning low. So your forecast for the viewing area specifically is one you'll want to follow, especially if you've planted a few flowers or things of that nature, trying to get an early start on that season. Well, we'll talk about that, and there are a lot of things that I love about doing this show, and I don't have time to even really go through a long list. One thing is that it's always different, something new every day. I get to get out and see people, meet people, and do things, and in an effort to attempt to be more than one place at one time, a feat which I am yet to master, I often come up a bit short. It was 5:15 before I was able to even step foot into the newsroom today. A few reports that I've been working on kind of fell victim to the wind and conditions outside. It comes down to the fact that after a valiant effort, I just couldn't stick the landing, so to speak. Still have some headlines for you tonight, some that I'll carry over into tomorrow. But it's going to be an abbreviated program. Possibly, I say that most often it turns out to be a near full show. But we're going to get through the headlines as quickly as possible for lack of time on my part. We sadly, though, start off talking about news from around the area, though, with the identity of a man who was killed in a crash yesterday in Breathitt County. We know it actually happened on Monday. My apologies. The identity just coming late yesterday evening on Highway 15. He's been identified as 54-year-old Billy Spicer of Jackson. His vehicle collided with the rear end of a tractor trailer. That large vehicle was actually stopped for a school bus that was in front of it. That bus letting kids off of the bus around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, as of course classes had been released in Breathitt County schools as they were elsewhere. It happened sometime around 3:30 in the community of Ned in Breathitt County. Mr. Spicer was the only one injured, we do believe, but was pronounced dead at the scene after his car did collide with the rear of that tractor trailer. There's a public meeting notice that I have to forward to you in McGoffin County for a meeting coming up this coming Wednesday, and it relates to the still being erected, if you will, Civil War Park, which is getting very close to becoming a reality with a lot of things happening there. From my friend Randall, the Land and Water Conservation Fund Act of 1965, public law. It means that citizens are afforded the opportunity to express their views concerning the recreational needs of their community. To provide a forum for discussion, an open meeting is being held next Wednesday, 5:30, in downtown Saggers at the Renaissance meeting here in the downtown area on Church Street, there at the corner of Church and Maple. Parking is available in front. The meeting and project is sponsored by the McGoffin County Fiscal Court. The specific purpose of this meeting is to discuss the application to the Land and Water Conservation Fund for funds to construct restroom facilities at the Battle of Punchin Park. For more information about the proposed project, you can contact Regina Hall McClure, the project developer at the Big Sandy Ad Board, at 886-2374. I suspect that she will be at this meeting. Anyone with a significant supporting or opposing view is invited to voice that opinion at this meeting. You can also, of course, contact the Land and Water Conservation Fund program, but it's one of the many steps that they'll be taking to see a whole lot of amenities established at the Civil War Park. My apologies, on Route 7. That's a public meeting held this Wednesday, 5:30 at the Saggers Renaissance program. I will remind you about that. I'll get to headlines right after just a couple of words from a couple of our sponsors.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Since one of the many items that have been so graciously donated to the 36th annual McGoffin County Rescue Squad Media Auction was a drone, the ever-popular, I call it a toy, device, if you want to refer to a piece of equipment sometimes, depending on how you want to use it. they have a drone that's going to be going up for auction at the 36th annual event, which starts 1 week from tomorrow. They've also got well over 100 other items which have been so graciously donated. There's still plenty of time to donate. You can do so anonymously. You can, of course, bring a donation monetarily or otherwise down to the rescue squad at any time. And you can also be able to, if you get those items donated in time, see that they are advertised for everyone to see in the Sagersville Independent, which, of course, will be publishing, as they always do, the complete list of items to be auctioned off.
Countdown time, we're less than 1 week away from the 36th annual McGoffin County Rescue Squad Muni Auction. We'll be live on Howard's TV Cable Channel 15 and WRLV 106.5, and then all the items that we can get in will be in the Sagersville Independent. Right now we have up to about 115 items and still some more to collect. You'll see that in this week's paper, then we'll get them in all the final items will be in next week's paper that we can get. You're looking around here, you see all kinds of nice stuff that's been donated. This is the patio set with umbrella and six chairs. 6 chairs donated by Bailey's Carpet and Hardware. Now, I know we got a lot of items, and every item is worth selling. But some of them are a little bit more worthy of mentioning who donated because they're a little bit higher price. And you'll see weed eater. We've got a weed eater up here from Hometown Hardware. We've got a lawnmower. And this is the high tires on the back, 21 inch. And that's donated by Air Methods Helicopter Service. And we want to thank them. So that's how much they appreciate us working with them. Also, if you look over here at the fire truck, that is kid tested.
As always, you just never know what you're going to find from a very solid wood fire truck toy box that's been kid tested and approved. Donated by Barbara and Bernice Patrick, to a couple of motorcycle helmets, one that has Bluetooth, the senior citizens, and the handmade quilt, and an ATV gun boot, a lot of UK memorabilia, and the premise for doing this interview in this manner that didn't quite pan out just as well as we had hoped. They've got a drone, a small drone, that too purchased and donated by the Patricks, and a whole lot of other items, the blower, weed eater, lawnmowers. New items are continuing to come in. We want to stress that they are still taking, of course, donations and will graciously do so for basically as long as you will give them. But any of the larger items, please donate them the sooner. That way they can be listed in the Sagersville Independent, and that way, of course, stir up some interest and then maybe some more bids.
And again, we're here. It's going to be at 36. We'll be live here at the Rescue Squad building on Thursday, the 30th, from 6:30 to 9. On the 1st, which is Friday, 6:30 to 9, and then on Saturday, 2 to 7.
And I didn't isolate my microphone as well as I should have. That's the first close-up I've done with the drone, and it was a windy day to have it out. Let me just tell you that. We'll talk about the winds and the frost and all that in your weather forecast in just a few moments, and we'll talk more about the Rescue Squad auction, but, of course, it will be live on Howard's Cable. It'll be live on the radio station, we do believe, and, of course, all the items in the Independent. It starts next Thursday, Friday, and then, of course, Saturday Derby Day as well. It's just a big weekend, and your annual support literally is the biggest single fundraiser or support of the entire year financially for the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. If you got something you'd like to donate, well, you can see there's all sorts of items. They can just about have something for everyone to bid on as well, so we certainly hope you'll tune in, bid, and buy, or support in some form or fashion. McGoffin County Rescue Squad's 36th annual media auction starts 1 week from tomorrow, and of course I'll be reminding you. And a special birthday wish to start off tonight's community calendar, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. Happy birthday, Mom, it says. In this case, Mom is Rui Reed. From your kids, Rui, happy birthday to you. Number 87, it says on today. Happy birthday, love Stephen, Debbie, Yvonne, and Lisa. And from all of us here at Your News Today, because we know you're always watching. I can't thank you enough for that. But happy birthday from all your family and friends. Happy 87th to Rui Reed. Couple of quick reminders on the rest of the calendar for tonight. The Elk Creek Church Youth Group is showing Left Behind. The movie will start at $5 to get in. Bring a chair with you. They'll have concessions for sale. I'm assuming that means popcorn. You know it means popcorn. Call 367-6485 if you have any questions and come support their youth group. Revival starts at the Tip Top United Baptist Church this Sunday at 6, nightly thereafter at 7. This is your invitation to join them. And a special event coming up Monday at the Floyd County Extension Office. Appalachian Hospice Care and the Extension Office are teaming together to have a caregivers support group for anyone who is a caregiver, friends, family, for whatever needs they may have. Well, you need help with that support, and they would like to give it. Support for support at the Caregivers Support Group this coming Monday at the Floyd County Extension Service. I'll remind you tomorrow. And the fishing tournament's coming up on the 16th for the Sayersville Fire Department. Let's go fishing. First place pays $1,000, $100 for boat to enter. Other big cash prizes. Call 349-3256 or 791-3256 if you need to learn more. And call me with birthdays, anniversaries, calendar announcements, and more. And, of course, you can always send that same information via the mail. You can fax it. Send it to yournewstoday@yahoo.com. Find me on Facebook at Ritt or Mortimer, or drop it off here at the studio just above the Sayersville Post Office on East Maple Street. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Some of this interview fell victim to the wind. I tried as best as possible to isolate, but it was just blustery out there today. But nevertheless, we were planning on doing another interview and another report, if you will, on this Friday, when we expect a whole lot of other folks to be in attendance helping get ready for a major event. The first ever Royalton Festival has been planned. It's going to be centered around our Dawkins Trail, as you are hearing a lot about lately. A whole lot of groups being formed and working very hard to promote tourism, the trail, and of course their efforts. And this committee has worked very hard, and they have come a long way to see that the Royalton Festival is going to be a success. Vicki Doucette's with me tonight, and she tells me more about what they've got planned thus far, and they've got a list of things for everyone.
Vicki Doucette's with us tonight telling us about the first annual Royalton Rail Trail Festival. Now, they've been planning only a short time, but listen to what they've got accomplished in that short time. The festival itself is going to be held on May the 30th, and they're still adding to a long list of events. They're going to have on the trail big events that you would expect. They'll have a 5K walk beginning at 9 o'clock that morning. They'll have a designated and organized bike ride later at noon. The horseback ride will take place later on that afternoon at 5 o'clock. And then for a lot of other things off the trail in the Finley-Arnott bottom area, 13 acres, I believe, plenty of parking for everyone. They've got 4 bands. I know that the Josephs are going to be there. A square dance is going to wrap it up that evening. Turning Ground, some other bands that will be announcing very, very soon, and they'll have all sorts of fun, family-friendly events and games throughout the day, horseshoes and cornhole and all sorts of things that you would imagine that would go along with such a festival.
We'll have 4 bands scheduled, and we'll start out that morning with gospel music. We already have our t-shirts printed up, and everyone's loving them. They're $12 each, and up to a 2X, and they're $14. We're trying to price everything reasonable this year. We have it now where per person to get in a gate at the Finley-Arnott property is going to be $2 each. I think that's very reasonable. We've had committee meetings every Monday night since the 1st of April, because we just started this festival the 1st of April. So we tried to do a festival in 2 months, but it's really, really pulling together.
And in light of such a big event coming up with the first annual Royalton Rail Trail Festival, they've got a cleanup event set for this Friday. About 20 outside volunteers are coming from out of the county and out of the state, I believe, to show their support, and they're trying to encourage all Royalton residents and anyone who has a little free time to come and help them this Friday. I'll tell you when and where on tomorrow's program when I have a reminder then, but if you'd like to be a part, they're going to great lengths to make a great appearance on this part of Magauffa County and the area seen from the Dawkins Trail. And as soon as the Trail Festival is over, they're going to shift their focus. Vicki says that they're going to set their sights on seeing that Royalton is declared officially a trail town, and that will open up all sorts of doors and opportunities, if you will, economically for the region. It will help grow tourism, the Royalton and Dawkins Trail area all together. Now, they're going to meet there at the church in Royalton, right there at the trailhead, and that's going to be Friday morning. They'll meet at 9 o'clock, and they hope to have you there. And you'll be surprised as to the lengths that they're going to go to try to beautify and clean up the area anywhere that needs it along the trail, and they hope to have your support. Bottom line is the festival is going to be a big time one way or the other. We can't wait for that to get around. Also, I want to remind you that there is a big meteor shower tonight, and I believe the skies are going to be a little more cooperative. And if you look at if you see on the map there, we're kind of on the borderline between fair and good, and that is to see the Lyriads. The peak of the annual Lyriad meteor shower tonight should be a delight for stargazers all around the world. Minimum, you can expect to see 10 to 20 meteors darting across the sky at the height of the shower, but the Lyriads have a history of putting on some big and surprising performances, sometimes 90 to 100 meteors per hour, and they are nice, big, and visible at times, too. The Lyriads will be visible to viewers in most parts of the world, and, of course, we are set to be rather in the fair or good category, if you will, here in the viewing area. The worst conditions due to cloud coverage might actually be from the Gulf Coast area from southern Texas over parts of Florida. In 2014, the Lyriads were hampered in part due to moonlight from the last quarter moon. That's not the case this year. This year, the moon is going to be a waxing crescent, only 1/15th the brightness of a full moon, and it's going to set early. And that will allow some excellent dark sky conditions for tonight's shower. Now, typically, the Lyriads produce a gratifying number of fireballs, which is surprising since their moderate speeds of 30 miles per second is only about 75% of that of the August Perseids or November Leonids. It should be an exciting experience, and I'm glad to see that we think we'll have some skies that will cooperate. I always mention the meteor showers. I always love seeing them. I don't always stay awake long enough. If that's something that you've got time for or an interest in, could be a good show. Now we're going to wrap it up a few minutes early. My apologies. Man, it's just been a wild week news-wise around here, one week after the other here lately. It's a good problem to have, mind you. We'll have headlines that you only see with me. And at 4 o'clock each evening, I am calling the Kentucky Court of Appeals to see if there is any information on that front, and I did so today. There was nothing new to add, so I am staying on top of that for you. Tonight we'll see a low of, look at it, talk about an adjusted nighttime low, 34 degrees. That puts us in the area for the possibility of some frost. I've got a better chance of some frost, though, about 24 hours thereafter. Partly cloudy skies tonight. West wind starting to calm down, 8 to 28 miles per hour, getting closer to that 8 and 0 as the evening progresses. But, man, it's been a blustery one out there. Still 20 miles per hour at the newsroom just a short time ago was a peak speed. Tomorrow, 58 degrees. It's going to be cooler, sunny but cooler. And check out tomorrow night's low. And into your Friday morning, we'll have some patchy frost developing after 5 o'clock tomorrow night, certainly into your Friday morning. While there is some frost possible tomorrow, especially in those sheltered and those areas if you live in one, Thursday night, definitely Friday mornings when you want to cover up anything that you've put out because it's going to be a bit frosty, I do believe. Friday will hit 61 under sunny skies, and lows should be well above the frost zone on Friday night and Saturday morning, but still into the 30s will fall. Keep in mind, Thursday night's low, that's cold enough to snow. Just fortunately not going to have any to deal with. Well, wouldn't that be awful? Saturday, I'm afraid your weekend's going to start off on a sour note. Showers likely across the board, especially after 2 o'clock. Don't be surprised if we work a few thunderstorms in there as well. Still in the low 60s, but we'll see nighttime lows hover right around the mid-40s. And then on your Sunday, the last half of your weekend will dry up somewhat. I think we have a 30% chance of some showers, maybe some thunderstorms early, but then partly sunny and clearing, a low of 41. I still, all the way through Wednesday of next week, don't have us out of the low and maybe even mid-60s. 63 next Wednesday. Unseasonably cool. Been nice and comfortable, but definitely cool. For now, that's my time. I'm off to Ramey Park to catch some baseball with my boy Andrew and a whole lot of others. Hope to see you there, and hope to see you back here tomorrow night for more of your news today. Thank you for watching and being a part of the show. Couldn't do it without you. Wouldn't want to either. Good night.